about this so much. Errors.
Yep.
Errors kill.
I was just going to say that Farmington has 3 errors and PV has 3 runs. Now, that's a swing and a miss. That'll be a strike 2, so 1 and 2 the count to Clugston. But I realize that not all 3 runs were off of errors, but it's errors that keep people out on the base path. It's errors that allow a run to come across. You've got to eliminate the errors. It's going to be low and outside for ball 2. But, here it is. We have 2 outs, and what happens? They score a run.
That's right.
Got runners on first and second. Cody Clugston, a dangerous hitter at the plate. Now in the batter's box, Griego checks the runner. Look at the lead on first. I mean, there he's going to come around on that one. That one is inside, but he gets a hold of it, fouls it off down the third baseline. So Cody Clugston staying alive at the plate.
Well, Murphy better be aware what he's doing over at first base because, as you mentioned, he is way off the bag. And I guarantee you, Joe, the catcher, and Wyatt, the first baseman, have a signal to tell him to come back door, and he's going to throw it down there. If he's not careful, he's going to get thrown out. Let's see if he realizes what they're doing.
I mean, he's getting farther out than Barton had. That's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And that will end the inning. So that is strike 3, out number 3, but not before there was 1 run on 2 hits, 2 runners left on base, and 1 Farmington error. So after 2 complete innings, the score is 3-0. The Panthers lead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, have we got any messages? We need some people
None.
to
I was
text
just
in.
checking. 0.
So 505-701-2222. Let us know where you're cheering from, who you're cheering for, so we can give you guys a shout-out on the air, give your player a shout-out on the air. Or I have the live chat up here on YouTube. If you want to type something in and cheer, send a shout-out there, we will get it in. But, man, what a great afternoon for baseball, and the crowd is starting to fill in. They're going to have the opening ceremonies after this game ends. And I believe that'll be another stream that starts up, but you can watch as Panther Vision is running all the cameras and production tonight. They gave us a night off as they asked Albert and I to come broadcast, and we were like, heck yes, we can come and talk and not have to do any of the work. We're in.
They brought the old guys out of the bullpen over here.
That's right.
Said, come on in.
So thank you to Panther Vision as they are the ones running all the production this evening and giving us a break. We didn't have to set up a thing tonight. It was nice.
It is a strange feeling.
It is
kind
of
of
strange.
Feel
You're
weird,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I feel weird not to panic 5 seconds
kinda
before we go on air because something's not working right. It's a strange feeling.
It is quite odd. So for the Scorpions, it's going to be 9-1-2 coming up to bat. It's Delgado again. And then Hagstrom and Benally back to the top side of the lineup for the Scorpions as they trail 3-0. PV in the lead. They scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning and another run in the bottom of the second. Farmington, they've had runners at second base, just couldn't come up with anything. And so let's see if this inning is going to be a little bit different, if Sebastian Delgado can kind of kickstart the Scorpions offense. We've seen what the Scorpions can do once they get that ignite, that one big hit from one of their guys in the lineup, and they just explode.
Well, if anybody can do it, it can be this kid.
Absolutely. This kid is built for this kind of moment in Sebastian Delgado, the second baseman for the Scorpions. And here we go, Page. High leg kick, fastball, shot out into center field. Trying to get there is Courtney, and he does. He was trying to figure out, could you tell he was trying to figure out if he had a dive for it or if it was going to fall right in his glove. And I think old Speedster out there doesn't realize how fast he is.
He didn't even realize how fast he was because he was like, I guess I don't have to dive. I can just make the catch. But that's going to take us back to the top of the lineup. Danny Hagstrom, who is 0 for 1 on the evening as he flew out into center field on his first at bat. And we are here at the Knothole game, the crosstown rivalry between these two teams. And that's going to be a base hit as Hagstrom takes his first pitch out into left field. So nice hit by Danny Hagstrom.
Well, it was a miss by Page. They wanted him on the outer half of the plate. He threw that right over the heart of the plate, and Hagstrom made him pay for it. And he's standing over at first base. Now, when Mason Courtney gets on first, we've seen what he does offensively on the backs for PV. Guess what? Hagstrom is exactly the same way. When he gets on first base, this young man is electrifying. He makes things happen for Farmington High School. So Kobe Benally's at the plate. He'll look at strike one. Let's see what he can come up with for Farmington. They need something.
Yeah, they do need to get something going here. They're down 3-0. There's a lot of game left. We're in the top of the third, but it'd be nice if he could get some momentum going. That's a high fly ball out into right field. And, man,
wow.
Is that Schwesper that came in and made that catch? That was a great job by Schwesper. That sun right in your eyeballs, but he runs that thing down. That'll be F9 out number 2. So, man, that was a
check this
tough
out.
one.
Look where he's playing right now.
Yeah.
And look how far he had to run.
He had to go all the way to the foul line.
You don't think that kid's got some wheels. You better think again. He covered a ton of ground on that F9. What a great play by Zwesper out in right field. He's a junior for PV, and great play out in right field. That's a swing and a foul ball by Darnell Joe, the catcher, who's 0 for 1. He struck out his first at bat. And they still have Hagstrom over at first base off of his base hit. Trapper Page trying to settle himself down. He's got 2 outs, so he just needs 1 more. It's just a quick little B move over to first, keeping Hagstrom close. And I mean, if I'm Hagstrom right now and Darnell Joe, and you've got the middle of your lineup up, I say run. Try to steal second base and get in scoring position. There's a throw down to first base.
Ooh.
In there pretty easily is Hagstrom standing up. You always know when it's close if they slide. If they come standing up, they got time. And it's an 0-2 count, though, to Darnell Joe. So he's going to have to dig in here because Page has a plethora of pitches to go with and some to waste. Nope, he goes right at him. It's fouled off the front side of his foot. And the count will stay 0-2.
Yeah, that probably didn't feel too great, did it?
I kind of make fun of, make light of, I guess I should say, of all this protective gear these kids wear anymore these days. But, the kids throw a lot harder, and, the balls are a lot harder. The bats are made better than when we played. And, actually, that's quite questionable because I know if you got the old school Easton Bomber bat, you bring it in here to Ricketts, you're going to go play home run derby. Everybody knows what I'm talking about with that.
Yeah.
Or those Easton ultralight bats when those came out. Goodness, those were amazing. 1-2 the count on Joe. Here's a fastball outer half of the plate. Didn't miss by much, but it missed. Takes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes as Farmington still has Hagstrom over at first base. So 2's on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hagstrom at first, and here we go. Here's a pitch. Off speed. Had a funky spin to it, and Joe knew what was coming. He took a hack, was able to foul it off, and he stays alive.
Yeah, Darnell Joe. 2's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And he has a runner over on first. That's Danny Hagstrom. Danny Hagstrom kind of been stranded over there for a minute. And that's going to be outside for ball 3. Full count to Darnell Joe.
Well, here's the confidence that Page has, Stephen. We've seen him in this exact spot a number of times. He doesn't panic when he's got full count. He'll come up with something ornery here. Let's see what Joe comes up with. Tough hitter himself. Oh, he's going to draw the walk.
Force, yep. A walk, yeah.
Well, you seen Caden stand up, and he was like, that looked like a pretty good pitch to me. So here comes Eli Edmonston to the plate. He is 0 for 1 as he hit a hardcore line drive down first base side, and J.W. Bayless made a diving catch to haul it in and touch the bag. It was an excellent play by Bayless, and here we go. It's an off-speed pitch way outside for ball 1 on Edmonston as Farmington now has Darnell Joe at first base. You got Danny Hagstrom at second. It's 2 outs, and it's a 3-0 lead for Piedra Vista over Farmington here in the knothole game. He comes set, does Trapper Page. Takes a look at the runner at second and Hagstrom. Here's the pitch, off speed, beautiful curveball thrown in there for strike one against Edmonston. He shakes his head. He understands that was a good pitch. It's 1-1. Everybody gets their lead. Page looking for his pitch. He's got it. He comes set, working out of the stretch. Again, takes a look at Hagstrom at second. Here's the pitch. Off speed, check swing, and he got him. That is strike two. So 1 ball, 2 strike on Edmonston. Big pitch for both of these players in Trapper Page and Edmonston. It's a big spot. Farmington needs something. Page looking to get the third out and in the side here. Here comes a pitch. Fastball. Peppered it right down the heart of the plate and got him looking and struck him out. And that will end the inning and the threat, as there was no runs on 1 hit. There were no PV errors and 2 runners left on base. After 2.5 innings of play, your score, Piedra Vista 3, the Scorpions 0. And for PV, it's going to be 5, 6, and 7 coming up to bat. Aragon, Page, and Hoops all coming to the plate. Satarius Griego still on the mound for the Scorpions.
Softball complex. In the bottom of the 4th inning, it is the Piedra Vista Panthers 11, Farmington High School 1.
So we just got an update for the PV girls softball game taking on the Farmington Scorpions over at the complex. Piedra Vista 11, Farmington 1. That's the softball game score right now. 11-1 is the lead for the Piedra Vista Panthers over the Farmington Scorpions. And we got a 3-0 lead here as PV leads this game 3-0 over the Scorpions here at beautiful Ricketts Park. Again, like to thank Panther Vision as they got their entire production team out here. They're running cameras, running production and sound. We really appreciate these young students and the fine job that they do here for Panther Vision. And you can see they got the camera out in the stands showing how many people are here. I mean, they just do a great job. Haley and her team with Panther Vision. Here we go. It's Aragon at the plate. And Aragon is 0 for 1 as he hit in a fielder's choice. His first at bat in the in the bottom of the 1st inning. This is his 2nd at bat, so he'll dig in with a 1-0 count.
All right, sorry, I'm back. A little bit of a technical difficulty there for a second.
All right, here's a pitch, swung on, nubbed off the end of the bat. Takes the count to 1 ball, 1 strike on Cade Aragon. As quite familiar with that name, and his brother, who was an absolute stud himself, playing at the School of Mines, Colorado Mesa.
Colorado Mesa, yeah,
There's
that's
another
right.
curveball in there for strike 2. So 1-2 the count on Aragon. Griego finding a groove here early in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Oh, nice shot out into center field, Dan. He's got a beat on it, though, so that's going to be F8 for out number 1 as Cade Aragon flies out to center field. That's going to bring up number 3, Trapper Page. He flew out to the second baseman on his first at bat in the 1st inning. So that will be 1 out, no runners on. Now we are in the bottom of the 3rd inning with Page stepping into the box. Satarius Griego still on the mound for the Scorpions. There's the pitch. That was going to be low and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, this is only his 2nd at bat of the game. It just feels like we're deeper into the game than what we actually are. There's a big shot line drive out into left field, goes foul. Just a pretty long strike.
Yeah.
Because it was a pretty good swing on it.
He got around on that one quick. And that's what I'm saying, that a lot of these hits are going down that 3rd baseline or out into that left field. So these Panthers are definitely ahead of these pitches today.
Well, it's a 1-1 spot here. There's an off-speed pitch, high fly ball out into left field. Pope right there. runs right underneath it, made it look easy, didn't it?
Yeah, he did.
Hauls it in for the F7, out number 2. And, gosh, I felt like Page got a hold of that a little bit better than what he did. I thought that was going off the wall.
It's deceptive.
It sure is.
I mean, they hit it. It looks like it's going way out there, and then you look at the outfielders, and they kind of slow down and wait for the ball, and you're like, man, I thought it was hit way farther than that. But great defense behind Griego right now, as he's Hagstrom and Pope have both helped him out. Now, next pitch to Flynn Hoops. Number 4 is in there for strike 1.
Good pitch. Tough to face a left-handed pitcher as you're a left-handed batter. But we talked to Hoops one time. He said, I like it. So did J.W. Bayless. He actually mentioned he likes facing left-handed pitchers. Typically, left-handed hitters do not like facing left-handed pitchers, but those two young men, they absolutely do. And but it's been tough. I mean, the win has gone to Griego thus far, other than with the base hit J.W. Bayless. He's 2 for 2, so got him there, though. Got him swinging and strikes out Flynn Hoops. So that'll end the side.
Yep, 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no runners left on base, and no Farmington errors. So after 3 complete innings, 3-0 is your score. The Panthers still leading here in this not whole game, the featured game of the entire season, the last game of the season, before you go into the state playoffs. And you know, it's just always a good time. They always do the opening ceremonies for the young kids at this game. Today they swapped it. This game was supposed to be at 7. They moved it to 4 because there was possible weather issues that were going to happen. Fortunately, that is not the case.
We're all looking for it.
It is a beautiful day out here. So what that's created is a great crowd for the Scorpions and the Panthers here, as the stands are filling up, and you continue to have the kids coming in, the parents coming in, and there's a great crowd out here for the not whole game tonight.
Well, I got to tell you, honestly, this has the Connie Mack World Series feel to it. There are a ton of people out here. We understand, you know, a lot of them are the kids and all that, but they love being out here. And the allure of just getting to step out there on Ricketts Park is enough to bring all these kids out there. They absolutely look forward to this every single year, getting to step out on that field.
Oh, yeah. This is, you know, these kids, I'd have to say these kids on these teams are fortunate that they get to play in Ricketts Park. There's a lot of young men that would just love to have the chance to come play at this ballpark. So it's cool that this ballpark is here for these area kids. I mean, even when you have the Scorpion Invite or the Panther tournament, I mean, then you've got these kids get to come and play in this park, these area kids, and it's a lot of fun for them, I can tell you that.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And man, what a way to send off your seniors playing this game. You know, a lot of these seniors, Stephen, will never step on this field again with their high school teammates. They may get on here for Connie Mack, but this will be the last time they go to battle with their teammates. And it's a big deal. There's so many emotions going on this field. You know, you have your senior days, which both of these teams have already had, but you have your last bit of your seniors getting to play on this field again until Connie Mack, if they get back out here. So here we go. Farmington stepping up. It is 5, 6, and 7. Madison, Bugnell, and Pope all coming up to the plate for the Farmington Scorpions. And Hoops still on the mound for the Piedra Vista Panthers, who lead this game 3-0 heading into the top of the 4th inning. Hoops still working, Page working from the stretch still. And here's the pitch. Off speed, shot right into center field. It's a beautiful hit. Nice piece of hitting from Madison. And now he is 2 for 2 on the day.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. He definitely is. He is 2 for 2. 2 nice base hits.
Well, now coming up to bat, it's the first baseman, number 9, Wyatt Bugnell. And Bugnell 0 for 1 in this game. He struck out in the 2nd inning. So he comes up to the plate, and he is set and ready to go. There's a shot right to the second baseman. Should be a double play. Oh, no. The throw to second was airmailed, and he takes off to second. Here's the slide. He's safe. He did not have to run to second base. He just needed to get back to first He touched first on the catch, so it wasn't a force out, and then he took off to second. So what a wild play that was. F4 to get Bugnell out. Madison on the wild throw from the second baseman in Clugston, or he would have definitely had a double play. Now only one out, and now you've got Madison standing on second base, and there's a big swing and a miss by Jordan Pope, who is 1 for 1 in this game for the Scorpions. He had a big hit the last inning. He was at the plate in the second. See if he could come up with it, because a base hit could score the runner in Madison from second. There's a ground ball to third. Fielded. Oh, they're going to say that was fair. Here's a big throw across the plate, or excuse me, across the field, and he throws him out. I thought that ball was foul because his foot was on the line.
Was that Bugnell?
Where he caught it. No, Bugnell was an F4.
Sorry.
Pope is a 5-3.
All
nope,
right.
You're trying to help out. We got issues going on, so you handle
Yeah,
business.
I apologize. I got a little behind there, but I got to see that one. That was a nice play by Murphy over there at third base.
What a cannon for an arm,
Man,
too, huh?
yeah.
He had a pause. That's how big that throw was. He paused for a second. Nice curveball in there for strike against Griego. He paused for a second to make sure that the umpire was going to say it was fair or foul. Then he threw it to first.
Man.
I mean, what a huge
So even
arm.
with a pause, he got it over
He
there.
still got it over there in time. Murphy with a cannon from third. And it's an 0-1 count to Griego with 2 outs. Madison standing on second. And there's a base hit, dive. He's not going to get there. This might score the run from second. And he's going to score easily standing up at home. And it's a 3-1 score, Piedra Vista. But Farmington just got a badly needed base hit and an even badly needed run coming across the plate.
Well, and what a better way to do it if you're Soterius Griego, as he's able to drive it. He gets the RBI single. He's helping himself out as he gets Madison to come across the plate, and that's going to bring up number 2, Sebastian Delgado. 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out into center field. And folks, sorry, we apologize. The technical difficulty we were working on was the YouTube channel went down, but it is back up and running now. So we apologize for that, but we are back. So like I said, if you're watching on YouTube, if you go to YouTube, we are back up and running. So
huge swing by Delgado. Missed a nasty curveball thrown by Page. And Delgado 0 for 1 as he flew out to center field. One of those hits we weren't sure if Courtney was going to get there, and how dare we doubt Courtney out in center field.
We don't doubt that speed. Oh, and Caden throws it down to first. A little off the mark, so I guess it's not Soterius. We have a courtesy runner in there, but runner gets back to first base. So with 2 outs and a runner on first, Delgado will step back into the box as he has a 1-2 count. Trapper Page will check the runner. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be outside. That thing was coming in hot, but it will be a ball.
Well, he reared back on that one. He sure did to Trapper Page. Right now, Page really just utilizing his defense. You know, he's not topped out with a ton of strikeouts, but really using the defense. There's another ground ball to Murphy. That time it was called foul, but he had the throw in time pretty easily over to first base, but we'll do it over again. Delgado will come back to the plate with a 2-2 count, and we will have 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Griego, that's Soterius Griego, standing over at first after an RBI base knock, brought in Farmington's first run of the game. We're at 3-1 right now, PV. And another update, again, just PV and Farmington girls softball playing out at the complex. PV leads that game 11-1 over the Scorpions.
And staying alive is Delgado as he'll foul that one back off into the net. So, yeah, typically these games, you have the softball on Friday and the baseball on Saturday. But this year it is all on the same day, and it turned out to be at the same time. So that's why we're getting updates. That's going to be a high Should be F5, and it will be as he just pops that one up, comes off the handle of the bat. And that's going to be out number 3. So there was 1 run on 2 hits. 1 runner left on base and no Piedra Vista errors. So after the top of the 4th inning, the score is now 3-1 as Ceterius Griego gets an RBI single in the top of the 4th.
Well, for the Panthers, it'll be 8-9-1 coming up to the plate. That's Barton, Swartz, and Courtney. And we still have Ceterius Griego on the mound for the Farmington Scorpions. You know, he hit that spot in the first inning where PV got their 2-run spot right off the bat as an error got Courtney on base first, Bayless with a base hit, and then you got Murphy who came up and almost cranked a home run out of here, got the 2 RBIs. And then he starts to settle in the second, gave up another run, took a deep breath, got himself out of another situation, left 2 runners on base. And the 3rd inning, he cruised pretty nicely. So let's see if he's found his groove and settles in.
Yeah, it's like I said way back at the beginning of the game. You know, these kids, it's a big deal. It's a big game. Nerves are there. You know, you got the butterflies in your stomach, and sometimes it's a little difficult to settle down. You know, a lot of times you're hoping that all goes away as soon as that first pitch is thrown. But as a pitcher, I mean, you can almost feel like you're out there on an island.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's looking at you. You're the one that's got the ball in your hand every play, and so. Good job, though, like you said, by Ceterius to settle in. I mean, he went 3 up, 3 down in the last inning.
Yeah. Well, we didn't call Farmington the Heartbreak Kids for about 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
For nothing. These guys know how to come back and really battle back. So we'll expect big things coming here, but they've got to work on this lineup. And Barton, who is 1 for 1 with a run scored, starts his second at-bat off with a foul ball.
Ceterius Griego with the pitch. That's going to be hit into the gap between short and third, and that will be another base hit for Elias Barton as he will make his way down to first, and that will bring up number 8, Tyler Swartz. He is 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out into right field, and right field is not the place you want to be right now with that sun.
It's going to show your knowledge of the game out there in right field. If you're going to get the glove up your hand, do you need sunglasses? Huge lead at first. Big shot out into left field. Pope right there. He's going to haul it in for the F7 out number 1. Is it, you know, those fly balls, boy, they look really exciting from way up here, and then you kind of see where the fielder settles in, and you're like, gosh, I thought that was close to being out of here.
Yeah, we watch it, and it's like, oh, that's a huge hit, and then it's like, wait a second. the outfielder's just sitting there waiting for it to show up.
Jordan Pope takes 2 steps to catch it.
Yeah. So we're back to the top of the lineup. Number 7, Mason Courtney at the plate. He is – oh, there's a shot.
Crushed that.
And Pope will get over to it. Looked like it might get into that gap, but it does not, as that will be F7 out number 2. So Jordan Pope busy out there in this inning.
Well, I mean, hey, be honest about that shot. He crushed that. That shows how fast Farmington's outfield is.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee you against most teams, that's dropping down for a stand-up double. But Pope is so fast. Hagstrom so fast out in center field. And then the speed by Benally in right field and vice versa for PV. Just tough to get those kind of hits down for a base hit.
Well, and I mean, it definitely looked like it was going to drop. I mean, it didn't look like anybody was going to get to it, and Pope just so fast gets over there and makes the play. But here we are with 2 outs and a runner on first. J.W. Bayless up at the plate, and that is going to catch that outside corner for strike 1. But he is 2 for 2 with a run scored. So Bayless having a good day at the plate. See if he can keep that going for his Panthers. 2 outs. There goes Barton, swung on and missed for strike 2. That was almost a defensive swing, I think. Should I say it that way? Is that right?
Yeah,
you're defensive, like.
Yeah, because so you can protect your runner. I don't know what on earth.
What just happened right there?
That Barton stopped in the middle of the run, stealing down to second, stood up, ran back to first because he didn't know if it was a foul or not, and almost got thrown out a second time.
Yeah, I looked up and I was like, why is he sliding it a second? I thought he was already there.
And you can see Corrali saying, what are you doing? So now Joe, that ball squirts out of his glove for the second time. So second ball.
Felt like Joe almost was baiting him there to run. He kind of was jogging to the ball. I think he wanted him to take off so he could grab the ball and throw it over to third. But good job by Barton to not take the bait.
Well, it's twos, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and you've got Barton standing at second. Patiently, there's a ground ball hit to the second baseman, and Delgado wastes 0 time with a beautiful throw over to first, and that is the 4-3 ground ball out, number 3, to end the threat for the Panthers.
There's no runs on 1 hit, 1 runner left on base, and no Farmington errors. So Griego kind of starting to find his groove, you know, and his defense behind him is getting it done, and things have gotten better for the Scorpions. Feels like I don't want to necessarily there's a momentum shift, but it just feels like it's kind of evened out a little bit.
Yeah, both teams have settled in. You know, the crowd sometimes. Hey, how many times have we talked to our guys on our hot mic, and they say, yeah, when they look up and see all those fans, they get a little nervous, and you know, maybe that could have happened here tonight. But both teams have settled in very nicely on both sides of offense and defense, as well as their pitchers on the mound. And it's become the game that we were expecting. It's a 3-1 lead for PV. Farmington coming up to bat. They're at the top side of their lineup, 1, 2, and 3, Hagstrom, Benally, and Joe. And, gosh, I mean, if you're looking for something to happen, that's the guys you want coming up to the plate if you're Farmington, because you got top side and then the middle. If you can reach that, they can make some stuff happen.
Yeah, this is an opportunity here for Farmington. I mean, it's hard to believe we're going to the top of the 5th right now, but we are. 3-1 is your score, and you know, you don't feel desperation. I don't want to. That's the wrong word, but you start getting into this 5th, 6th, 7th inning, and you start feeling a little bit of urgency is the word I'm looking for to get you know, when you're, I know at 2 runs it doesn't sound like a lot, but in a game like this it feels like a lot.
Well, and let's not take away whatsoever, not that we were in any way, shape, or form, but the Page is throwing a beautiful game. I mean,
yeah,
this is exactly who we've seen all season long from Trapper Page being on the mound, and I mentioned it earlier. Corrali does not hesitate for a moment to throw in Trapper Page or Flynn Hoops in a really big moment, and that's where you find Trapper Page here today. Don't get it twisted, folks. PV needs to win. They need a win here against Farmington, and they've got the lead right now, 3-1. But Hagstrom, he will step in, and he is 1 for 2 on the day. Flew out to center field in the first, got a base hit in the third. Here comes a pitch from Page, wasting no time on the off-speed pitch as Hagstrom swung right over the top of it for strike 1.
Once again, folks, thank you to Panther Vision. They are running the show today on the production side. All we had to do was come broadcast, so we appreciate them doing what they do. That one is in there for strike 2, so just like that, Page up in the count, 0-2 to Hagstrom. Let's see if he wastes a pitch here or if he goes right back at him. I don't imagine you want to give Hagstrom an opportunity, or much of an opportunity, I should say. If you're Page, yeah, he's going to go high and outside. That's ball 1.
Yeah, that looked intentional for sure.
Yeah.
See if he could just get him to overthink for a minute.
Get it up in that eyeball
range,
right?
that beach ball range that these kids like to talk about. Wow, what a big strikeout that was by Trapper Page. Off-speed pitch, 2 back-to-back curveball pitches to Hagstrom. Got him swinging on both. And that's a strikeout for out number 1.
That'll bring up number 6, the right fielder, Colby Benally, who has had to make a few plays out there with that sun in his eyes. He's done a good job defensively for the Scorpions today. He will step up to the plate. He got on with a walk in the first inning, flew out in the third to right field. Oh, did that?
That had a slip out of his hands because that literally almost hit the edge of the grass.
It surprised. I thought it hit Benali in the shoulder because of where the ball hit in front of him. It was hard for me to tell what happened right there, but man, that must have really came out of his hands.
It sure did. And he's 0 for 1 on that fly ball to right field. That was that fantastic catch that Zwesper had to get on his horse to get over there and catch it in foul territory nonetheless. With 2 runners on. So a great catch by Zwesper out in right field, and Benally looking to get his first hit. He's got ones on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
There's that inside corner for strike 2. Up here, it looks like it's way inside, but he's consistently calling that strike right there.
Well, and he didn't argue it. Benally stepped out like he knew that was right there. So here comes Page with something in his toolbox, and he throws a fastball, just reached back and let her rip, peppered a fastball up high.
Yeah, he went after it.
And Benally was able to get around on it and stay alive.
He really came up to get that thing.
He sure did. It was way up there. So go ahead.
Benally steps back in. Here comes the pitch. He's going to hit a dinker. Let's see. Murphy. Oh, he fouled it. I was watching the play, and then it must have went off his foot or something, because Benally's kind of limping coming out of the box there. That was going to be an extremely difficult play to make if you're Murphy or Page, because that thing took a high hop. So fortunately for the Panthers, that was just a foul ball. So Benally steps back in. 1-2's the count, 1 out. No runners on. Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled off as well. So Benally stays alive. Got to be swinging. You don't want to leave it up to the umpire, and that is what he is doing.
Man, that was an awkward spot to foul the ball off on the bat because it went behind him.
Yeah, it went straight back.
Like behind his right leg that's planted behind the plate and squirted over here when it came off his bat towards the batter's circle. Kind of awkward, but.
That one is going to be a ball. Must have been down low.
He reached back on that one again.
Wow, it is a packed house right here
when
in front of us. I stood up, and now I was like, holy cow, there's all kinds of people here now.
Yeah, well, they really packed it up here, and here comes Page. High leg kick, off speed, got him swinging. Does that stay where JW can get to it? No, it does not. It goes into the dugout for Farmington, and I thought he was going to be able to get there, but that ball just kind of kept tailing away.
Just kind of floated off into the dugout, didn't it?
So 2-2. Goodness, this is a battle, Benally and Page, and I think that's probably his 3rd foul ball after he got 2 strikes. So this is 5 pitches already.
You start getting discouraged if you're the pitcher. You're like, holy cow, what do I got to do?
Yeah, I mean it's a 7-pitch sequence already against Benally. Did he get him? Nope,
that's
down low.
Full count. So Benally really battled back in this one, didn't he?
Well, I thought we were going to see if Cade was going to hold it there. He didn't, so it must have been low. Like I say, if you see a catcher hold it there for a minute, he knows where the strike zone is. Here comes a pitch. Fastball. Swung on and fouled off again. Pitch 9 in this at-bat.
Man. Kobe Benally just
That's where you get that pitch count up.
Yeah, not willing to go away. And like I said, you start feeling, as a pitcher, you start feeling like you're losing the battle. It's like, what do I got to do to get this last strike?
That's such a great point. I've thrown everything at him, and I still haven't got him.
Yeah, it's like advantage hitter at this point, because he's getting that timing down. You're just giving him pitch after pitch. That one's going to be, he got him on that inside corner, rings him up, as that will be strike 3, out number 2. Next up, he thought that he was going to get the walk there. And, we see that all the time. You got to sell it. If
Absolutely.
You're not going to swing at it, you better sell it.
You got to shake your head and act like you can't believe that was called a strike. And, but you get back in the dugout,
Yeah,
You definitely know. I promise you that. Well, Page just in complete control in this inning thus far. Has really ended all threats, and Joe takes a huge swing and fouls it right off his toe. And, that hurts.
Yes.
That hurts an awful lot.
He's trying to shake that one off, but I'm sure that one is still stinging. That is ouch.
Just so impressed with this young man and the way he captains and quarterbacks his team behind the plate. Let's see what he comes up with. A really tough pitcher in Page. And Page is feeling his off speed. That has been his out pitch today. That's 2 back-to-back curveballs thrown to Joe. Great job.
And that ball, it is just dropping out at the perfect time right now, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you know, Page is just, a lot of the times we see his out pitch be his fastball, because he does have a pretty live fastball. Today, it's not found the strike zone consistently for him, but I'll tell you what, his off-speed sure as heck has. Got him 3 straight curveballs.
Yeah. Gets Joe swinging. No runs on, no hits, no runners left on, and no PV errors. That was just 3 up, 3 down for Page as he just comes out and attacks the batters. And we are now headed into the bottom of the 5th inning here at the Knot-Hole game. That'll be 3, 4, and 5. And man, if you're the Panthers, that's a great spot to be in your lineup, as you've got Murphy, Cluxton, and Aragon coming up to hit. And all 3 of those guys are fantastic at the plate for the Panthers. So let's see what happens here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But you know, Soterius Grego, that being said, I mean, he's kind of come alive as far, you know, he's settled in, he's making good pitches, his defense is getting their job done behind him. You know, it just feels like it just took Farmington a little bit of time to get in a rhythm, to get in their game. They started off a little bit slow. They had those 3 errors, but ever since then, now they seem to be doing a great job.
Well, when you look top to bottom at our scorebook here, what you're going to see is a ton of outplays, F9s, F5s, you know, 5-3s, all those. They're utilizing their defense. Why is that? Because both of these pitchers are fantastic in their own way. The one thing neither one of them has is that fastball that they're just going to blow by you.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a fastball that they can get by you. There's a difference. But neither one of them have a fastball that they're going to blow by you. And so you got to be able to trust your defense, and that's where we talk about positioning those chess pieces as you were talking with Coach King when we were doing the Farmington Scorpion Invite, remember?
Yes,
and you had mentioned that. Oh, it's like a chess game. And he said, exactly. Right, here's the same situation. If I throw this curveball, I got to trust my defense and my shortstop and my third baseman that if they swing at this, it's going to be slower. They're going to be way out in front of it. They're going to hit it right to you that you can field it and throw them out.
Absolutely. Oh, and that one, man, that was a crazy curveball or something. That thing came down right across the plate in there for strike 1. It got kind of confused Murphy. He didn't know whether to swing or not at that thing. That's going to be 0-1. Here comes the pitch, and Murphy's going to hit it foul down the third baseline. And that will bring it to an 0-2 count.
Well, that was a great stop by the third baseman.
Yes, even though it was foul. Yeah.
It didn't matter, but it was a great dig nonetheless.
Yeah, he made the play even though it was foul. But Murphy with that huge double off the wall, 2 RBI double off the wall back in the 1st inning. He is now down in the count 0-2 here in the bottom of the 5th, and that's going to be outside for ball 1. But Murphy, really enjoy watching him at the plate. He does a really good job when he's in there hitting. So here comes the pitch from Griego. That was going to be low and inside for ball 2. So good job by Murphy to battle back. Count is 2-2. The bottom of the 5th, no outs. And the score is 3-1. PV leading.
I feel like Murphy's dialed in here right now against Griego. If you noticed on that last curveball, he dropped his bat before the ball even got to the plate. He already knew it was going to be a ball. So he knows Griego pretty well. And honestly, I believe that's what they just called a timeout for, was like, hey, we got to do something different because he knows what's coming. And
not sure what's happening here.
I don't know either. I got a 2-2 count. I think they're talking about the count. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, yeah, the umpire's saying, yeah, it's 2-2. Oh, this is 2-1 up on the board. I got you.
I'm assuming that's what they were talking about. I could be wrong, but they just need the score. There it goes. The scoreboard got caught up.
All right, so we are getting back to the action. Here's the pitch. Murphy's that came off the end of his bat. It's gonna go to Delgado. Does a great job. Charges it, scoops it up, gets it over to first for the 4-3 out, number 1, and that will bring Cody Cluxton up to the plate.
Well, and I mean, today is a perfect time to get some video film on how to field a ground ball. Both these infields for PV and Farmington, this is what these guys are known for, creating some amazing infielders year after year after year, and you're seeing it out here today.
Yes, they are doing a great job. And that's stuff we've been talking about all season is,
yes.
You watch some of these games and the kids don't charge the ball, or they pat their glove 3 or 4 times and don't get the out over at first. And, those are just things that you got to clean up. At this point in the season, this is where you should be, right?
That play and I love the way you just positioned that, because that play that Sebastian Delgado just made, that's a routine ground ball.
Yep.
You need to get your routine ground balls, as that's ball 3 on Cluxton. The routine ground balls are expected to be made. Those hot shots at your third baseman and your first baseman, like J.W. Bayless dove and caught in the first inning to end in that threat. I think it ended the inning.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, those are the plays you hope that your fielder can make for you. But the play that Delgado made, those are the important ones.
And you say it all the time. You got to make outs on out plays, and you cannot. And that was 4 straight balls from Griego. It looks like they're gonna bring. I'm assuming they're bringing somebody in.
Might be number 17. Is that Eli? It is Eli. They're gonna bring in Edmonston.
Oh yeah.
It looks like he's got his pitching glove on. Yep, you called it, Steven. It's going to end his day. Ceterius Griego, congratulations, young man. If you get to come back and listen to this broadcast, you should be proud.
Yeah, did a great
Stand
job
tall.
out there today.
You pitched one heck of a game, young man, and you should be proud of the job you did on that mound today for your team. Oh, they're going to bring in Pope.
Oh, it's Pope. I thought
Wow,
that was
I'm
Edmondson.
excited to watch him throw.
So Pope is going to come in from left field. We thought it was going to be Edmonston, but it is going to be Pope coming in from left field. And I didn't see. Did they send somebody in to go to left field? Is that number 50? Who's number 50?
Is
that coach? Okay,
yeah.
Sorry, my old eyes down in here. Up here, I can't see. Who did they bring?
I
in
wonder
for left
if
field?
they won't move Wyatt off of first to send him out to left. Oh, there he goes. Griego's
going out to left or right field, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
here in a minute.
Yeah. Nonetheless, Griego is going out to the outfield. And Pope is coming in to pitch now. So let me make that change in my scorebook. 1, and Griego, I'll just assume he's going to go to left field until.
Well, and you can move these guys anywhere you want to in the infield without having to switch any spots in the lineup. So he could go to right, but you're right. He's going out to left field, so it's just a straight switch. So you will now see Pope go to the mound. And as Steven said, he just changed it in his books that now we've got Ceterius out in left field.
Well, I like that move by Coach. Griego threw those 4 straight balls. And not that there's anything wrong with Griego, but it was probably a good time. There's a runner on first. There's 1 out. Bring in Pope. Let him close this out. Don't try to not let any more damage happen. But, man, just like that, as I'm talking, Cade Aragon gets a nice base hit off of Pope, takes the first pitch. Wow, that was that looked like his brother right there, just going right after the first pitch,
did.
right?
And he was not waiting. He seen his pitch. He did not want to hesitate. Took a big swing, came up big time for himself. And now number 12, I believe that. Yep, number 12, Xavier Lopez comes back into the ball game. And we'll be set to go here. So, good buddy Shane Vigil texting in saying, great job, boys. Huh?
Yeah, we appreciate that, Shane. Thank you.
Thanks, good buddy. Can't wait to see you next time, sir.
Yeah.
It's a 0-1 count on Trapper Page. who's got an opportunity now. Piedra Vista threatening here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that pitch is high. It's Jordan Pope who come in relief to Griego. And Griego threw a pretty fantastic game, held his own. But Coach King felt like it was time to bring in some relief, and that's in the likes of Jordan Pope. They moved him in from left field, now on the mound. It's a 1-1 count with 2 runners on. Big shot out into center field. Should be Hagstrom's ball. He's calling everybody off. F8 and throws a rocket to third base. Yeah, just to remind everybody, go ahead. If you want to try to tag up and run on me, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think you want to do that.
F8 for Trapper Page. It'll bring up the designated hitter, the left-handed hitter, number 4, Flynn Hoops, who's 0 for 2. He flew out to right field in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd. And 2 outs. They're looking to get something going here for Corrali. He's got 2 runners on base. Aragon at first after his base hit. Clugston at second off of his walk.
Oh, look who it is. One of our
good buddies. Boy, those guys are all these games, aren't they?
I know. Well, I saw
a lot of Aztec people.
Yeah,
here.
I saw a lot of the Aztec baseball players down there earlier. Like Kel Watson and Jason Clark out there. Hunter
Again,
Clark down there.
These kids are all split up together, and so they play Connie Mack together. They all know each other. They root for each other.
Well, after this, I'll say what I was going to say. But that's a high fly ball. That should be
a mile in the air.
That is F6. For out number 3, so with no runs on 1 hit, we had 2 runners left on base and no Farmington errors. No, what I was gonna say is, I put these videos out all week long, for Rivalry Week and all that, and you had all the kids I can see on Instagram, when they like something, and you had kids from every team liking every video for their friends, what I mean? So it's cool. You're right. They do support each other. They play each other. They compete against each other, but they do play together as well, and they support each other. So it's cool to see that.
Well, we had Wyatt, Hagstrom, and Delgado. They spoke so highly about the players for PV, and then they spoke about how close they were with the players from PV, and so, man, I like knowing that, and I like hearing that kind of stuff. And so it just makes this game today even that much more special to me, and being able here to call this game. So, and these seniors that are going to be heading out, last time we were going to see them here at Ricketts Park, so at least high school-wise, that is. But it is a packed house out here, folks. I guarantee you there's probably 2,000 people here, at least.
Yeah, there is there is a lot of people here in the stands. You got all the kids showing up for the opening ceremonies after this game is finished. And like I said, that stream that'll be on the website, but the Panther Vision is going to bring you guys the opening ceremonies. So you can jump off of this stream when it ends, and you can jump onto that one, and you can watch the opening ceremonies. So, folks, once again, thank you to Panther Vision as they are running the production today. They do all the production for the Panthers games. They asked us to come and broadcast for them today. That's why we're here, and we enjoy broadcasting this Knothole game, and we thank them for giving us the opportunity to come and broadcast today. But they are running all the cameras and production and everything else today. That is all on Panther Vision, so we appreciate that we didn't have to come and set up a bunch of equipment.
I know we sound like a bunch of whiny junior high boys when we keep saying that, but you all have no idea how exhausting it is to set up.
I showed up at about 12:45 in Aztec the other day and was finally finished setting up at about I think it was about 4:30 after the JV game started, so we could be ready for the varsity game. So that's why I say it feels good to not have to go through all that setup. But here we go, folks, as we have Eli Edmiston, the designated hitter, stepping in. He is 0 for 2 on the day. That one's going to be low for ball 1.
Well, and Eli, I mean, again, just again and again and again, time after time, this guy has come through for his ball club. And you just couldn't be more happier for a senior in Eli and what he does for this team. Got a little cutie patootie
there's a hit.
here.
Nice job by the shortstop in Elias Barton as he scoops that thing up, gets it over to first right away for the 6-3 out number 1. And that will bring up number 5, Declan Madison.
Well, you know what was fantastic about that field that the shortstop for Piedra Vista just had in Barton? Perfect form. Stayed low on the ground ball. When he stood up, he didn't stand straight up. He kept himself low to the ground, kept his shoulders in front of him. There's a shot out in the center. Not going to get there is Courtney. And Declan Madison, Stephen, is now 3 for 3.
I was thinking the same thing as soon as I saw him hit it. I was like, man, another base hit for Declan Madison. Whoops, got that wrong in my book. There we go. So Declan Madison getting it done from the plate tonight for the Scorpions, and that's going to bring in number 9, Wyatt Bugnell, the first baseman, 0 for 2 as he struck out in the second and flew out to the second baseman in the fourth. So he will step into the box, and the score is 3-1. We're in the top of the 6th inning, so you know, if you're Farmington, you really are feeling a sense of urgency right now as he will watch strike 1 go by.
Well, you talk about those kids that are due, and it just has the feeling with Wyatt that he's due right here in this spot in his moment. And he's looking at an 0-1 count, off speed, check swing, doesn't go, ball 1, 1-1 the count. On the first baseman and Wyatt Bugnell. Again, talk about this young man. I mean, he's just got it figured out. He wants to be a welder. He knows what he wants to do. He said he wants to start his own business, start a family. Man, tell me that young man doesn't have his priorities straight and has his head proper on his shoulders. Does Wyatt Bugnell. And if he could go on to play baseball, he said he'd love to do that too. So it's just such a great conversation.
Yeah, it was fun.
With these young men from Farmington. Here comes a pitch from Page. Fastball. And did not miss by much.
That's a scary one to let go by right there.
Sure is.
Because, man, he's been calling those corners all day long. So 3-1 the count now to Wyatt Bugnell. 1 out. Runner on first base. Farmington needing a couple of runs. And they have this and one more opportunity to make that happen. And Wyatt Bugnell gets the job done as he will head down to first base. He gets the walk, and that will put runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Number 12, Jordan Pope, coming up to the plate, 1 for 2 on the day, had a single out into left field in the 2nd inning. And it looks like we are going to bring in a new pitcher for the Panthers.
That will be...
That's Amasi Griego.
Amasi Griego, yep. God, you've seen that before. Oh, no. Well, looks like they're going to bring in
Flynn Hoops.
Flynn Hoops, yes. We got Coach Shea here, the head coach for Heights football, coming in to say hello. Are you coaching here? You got your team coming in?
Got a team coming in for the opening ceremonies.
All right, well, we try to get this guy on the air for quite some time. And, man, we missed out on him here, but – you know, you were working some, I don't even know what they call it. I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but security or something?
Yeah, it's the gym master.
The gym master, that's what it is. Yeah.
Even though we're at the baseball field, it's called the gym master.
we got to come up with that.
You got to come up with a better name. I call myself a field rep.
That's exactly what it should be called.
I'm not in a gym, but yeah, no, Albert, I been doing that all spring. Basically, we go between baseball, softball, make sure everything's good, you know, make sure fans are good, everything's okay, players are okay, all that kind of stuff. I'm here today for not whole day. I'm coaching with my dad and my brother a 10U baseball team.
As you all usually do.
As we do, and then I also coach I'll be at opening ceremonies for softball tomorrow because I coach a 6U softball team.
Man,
so
how do you get reeled in all that, dude?
Well, you know, the granddaughter plays for the 6U
that's
group,
a must.
so I got to do that.
That's a must.
And then coaching these guys, it's good. It's nice to see the community out.
In big numbers, too.
Really big numbers. And just, I mean, you know, you look at the parking and stuff out here, and it reminds you of a Connie Mack game.
Yes.
It's way cool. It's way cool for these kids. It's way cool for the high school kids, and to see a great game. You know?
I mean, a lot of these kids, actually probably all these kids that are playing here. I mean, what a treat, 3-1 going, here in the top of the 6th inning. Farmington's got something going. I mean, you're going to see a lot of these kids teaming up this summer going at it. I mean, Connie Mack's been shifted around a little bit, so you got to win the qualifier in July, a July 4th weekend to move on. But, gosh, I'm hoping they merge these kids together and give us an actual, almost that all-star team. I just don't think it's going to happen again this summer.
And I've looked. 5-Tool does the qualifier stuff, and seeing New Mexico qualifier. There's a couple teams out of Cruces already. There's 4 or 5 out of Albuquerque. There's some guys out of Santa Fe. A couple of teams out of Texas. That qualifier for being a July 4th qualifier is already filling up. So it'd be interesting to see how it works out. I'm going to get out of your hair and let Steven get back on since you guys are doing this game, and go Panthers.
All right, well, we're going to get him on the air here shortly. I keep asking, and hopefully one of these days he's going to say yes. So actually he would have a long time ago, but he's been pretty hooked up. As you heard, guy coaches 2 teams and is what we're going to call the field master.
Well, he showed up just at the right time. I was like, here, take the headset. I'm going to let you talk for a minute.
That was Chris Shea. He's the head coach of Heights Junior High football and coaches a lot of teams. Here's a tough play. Backhanded to third. Got the force out. What a play, Steven, yet again from the shortstop for Piedra Vista in Barton to get the out at third.
Yeah, so that's the 6-5 out number 2. And, I have to say, when you're a fan or you're just watching the game, that's not stuff that you think about. I see it go to him, and I'm thinking he's going to throw it to first, and he's the field awareness. And I know for baseball people, that might be an easy thing that you think about. But just to know to go to third, you got the force out. A lot of people don't understand that that one's outside for ball 1, but don't understand the situational aspect of baseball right there. He understood the situation. He knew he had that force out at third. Take out the lead runner. Don't let him get to third. Just throw it over to third, get that out. Now you got 2 outs, and that runner's on first and second instead of second and third.
Oh, Griego trying to tie it up, actually give them the lead on that swing. It was a huge hack and missed it. For strike 1, 1-1 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. You've got Bugnell at second base, Pope at first. And, yeah, Steven, I mean, it was just smart play by the shortstop in Barton. His momentum was taken into him to third. It's the obvious throw to go to third. What's not obvious is the throw going to be on time and in the right place?
Yes,
and
exactly.
It was. And that throw is the tricky part of all of it.
Well, and it's the athletic ability and especially at shortstop. You got to have a great player at shortstop. That one's going to be fouled off. It's going to keep the count at 1-2, or at least that's what I had. It says 1-1 on the scoreboard, but I had 1-2.
What a way to battle, though. That would have punched him out right there, and he found a way somehow, some way, to Griego to foul that pitch off.
Well, he's the one that drove in the run, and he has an opportunity here. If he can get a base hit out into the outfield somewhere, he might score. Who is that over at second? Bugnell?
Yep.
Yeah, Bugnell from second. And that's going to be fouled off. So Griego just staying alive there at the plate for the Scorpions. Score is 3-1. We are in the top of the 6th inning. And like I said, right now Scorpions have 4 outs to get a couple of runs.
That's it.
I mean, they've got some guys out there on the base path now. This is a great opportunity, right? Like, you got some runners out there on the base, see if you can bring them in. And there's a nice shot out into center field, but Courtney looks like he's going to get under it easily, and that will do it, as that is F8 out number 3. So there was no runs on 1 hit, 2 runners left on base, and no Panthers errors. So heading into the bottom of the 6th inning, score 3-1, and it will be 8-9-1 coming up for the Panthers.
Yep, that's Barton, Swartz, and Courtney. And goodness, has Barton had a day at the plate for the Panthers. He is 2 for 2 coming into his 3rd at-bat with a run scored. So Barton really, really doing a great job defensively as well as offensively. And you actually know how to dance to this song?
No, I don't.
No.
I thought I did, but I don't.
I thought you were doing great, man. I'm not even going to lie about that.
I was just kind of acting like I knew what I was doing.
Well, you did pretty good there, pal.
Glad you guys couldn't see that on camera.
I want to watch all the people dance, and nobody's dancing. Not even the little kids.
I know, what the heck.
Of course, the little kids are way over there, so. Well, this game is heading into the bottom of the sixth, as Steven just mentioned a moment ago, and really up to this point, it's been all PV. But Jordan Pope's on the mound, and let's see if he can get things turned around.
Well, and I can guarantee you, PV is they're looking to get some offense going in this inning. I mean, if they can put some insurance runs up on the board, they are absolutely going to do it. So Pope is going to have to show his best stuff right here. He's going to have to bring his A game, because the Panthers are going to be looking to get some runners on base, try to drive in some runs here. As Barton is 2 for 2 on the day with a run scored. So this is going to be a tough one here. Jordan's going to have to find those pitches. He's working from the windup. Here comes the pitch, and that was going to be inside corner for strike one.
Well, I think that's the most important thing right now for Pope. Get up there and throw strikes. Don't get cute with the strike zone. Of course, that also goes for his pitching coach who's calling the pitches.
Yep.
You know, don't get cute. Keep that around the strike zone. Don't allow him to try to throw so many outside pitches or inside or, you know, all these things. Just hit the strike zone. That's a fly ball. Wyatt should be right there trying to shield the sun. He is. F3 for out number 1. But, you know, that's it right there. Just throw strikes.
Yep.
Use your defense.
Well, and Pope can throw hard. I mean, you just got to get it in that zone somewhere. Just let him throw the ball like he can. Like you said, that pitch right there, that looked like an off-speed pitch when it came out of his hand to me, but it goes off the handle of the bat, or top of the bat, I should say, straight up in the air, and defense gets the job done, and that's going to be in there for strike one to number 8, Tyler Swartz, the left fielder now at the plate for the Panthers.
Yep, he's 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to right field in the second inning, flew out to left field in the fourth, and he's down quickly in this at-bat. As Pope looking to hit the strike zone and get his team out of here so they could get back into the dugout and take some hacks, because they only got 3 outs left after they can get PV.
Well, he just called strike, or was he?
I
was he just showing
he called a strike
I did
earlier,
too.
but they put a ball up there, and I should know better than to follow what they're doing on the scoreboard. There it is. Nope. Ball.
So 2-2 the count. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know what happened. Yeah, it is 2-2. He just showed 2-2.
Okay,
we'll just
good.
go with that.
Wow, for once we were wrong.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What are we going to do with ourselves being wrong, Steven?
Well, you know, it happens every once in a while, all right?
Just every
Not too
blue
often.
moon, folks.
I mean, usually
don't get used to this.
Usually we're right on point with everything. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
Full count on Tyler Swartz, the 9-spot hitter and left fielder. There's a shot out into right field. But right there on the line drive catch was Kobe Benally yet again. And Kobe's had a number of outplays out there and right.
Yeah, with that sun
that
in
earlier.
his face. I mean, that was another one. That ball was coming probably right close to the angle of the sun, but he gets it done, gets the out. So 2 up, 2 down, and we are back to the top of the lineup as Mason Courtney will step up to the plate. He got on, is that 0 for 2?
Courtney is 0 for 3.
0 for 3 because he got on an error in the first, has a run scored, but he's flown out in the second and the fourth. And that will be ball 1.
Well, here comes Jordan. Tough out here with Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney is you're going to have a really difficult time getting to him to swing at anything outside the zone. I mean, you can try to pitch all around the plate, but he's really, really good at picking his pitches. So Jordan's going to have to find that pitch. It looks like they're trying to pitch around him right now is what it looks like.
Well, they got J.W. Bayless at the on-deck circle, and he is 2 for 3 with the run scored already. So you're fixing to face him right now, who he's been swinging the bat pretty hot right now, today at least, and his hits have been fantastic. They haven't been little chump squeakers that are jumping over the top of the infielder. I mean, he has gotten a hold of every one of them.
Yep. And I talked about it earlier. This kid, he's just calm. It doesn't matter what the situation is, he's calm, and he'll step into the box, and you'll watch him. He'll just wait for that pitch, and he has a great swing, and he finds a way to punch it out into the outfield.
Taking off to second. Oh, and Joe lost the handle, the grip on the ball again.
Well, and I mean, he gets that throw, but Courtney is so fast. That would have been a good one to see what happened there.
That would have been a great battle to watch that throw down on him.
Yeah.
So see if he gets it there on time. But nonetheless, he's still second base with 2 outs. And it's a 1-0 count to J.W. Bayless, who took a big hack there, fouls it straight back. Who's the count to 1 ball, 1 strike?
I better get that marked in my book. I missed my mark, but 1-1 the count now. A runner on second base, 2 outs. J.W. Bayless looking to see if he can't drive in the runner that's in scoring position as they lead 3-1. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be inside for ball 2.
Well, Pope started off pretty smooth, but I think that is 4, 5, 6 balls out of the 7 pitches thrown in the last sequence. So he's got to find the strike zone here. You do not want that insurance run in Mason at second to score on a pass ball or anything like that. So he needs to dial in here, try to find a way to get J.W. Bayless out. Easier said than done, no doubt about it, but that pitch is high and outside for ball 3.
Well, Pope struggling to find the zone right now. He's throwing a lot of balls. 3-1 the count. And Bayless, he's another one. You're not going to just get him to swing at anything. He's gonna find the pitch he wants. Oh, and there's another ball, as that is going to put Bayless down at first base. So now with runners on first and second, Kyle Murphy will step up to the plate. A dangerous hitter as he hits in the 3 spot for a reason.
Well, you're going to see the catcher and Joe call a quick timeout and go talk to his pitcher while they bring in a courtesy runner for J.W. Bayless. I'm not sure why they brought Bayless out of there, but nonetheless, they got a runner in for him.
Who is that over there?
I did not.
Did we get a number?
I did not see who it was.
Looks like 11 maybe. I can't tell, or 1. I can't tell. We'll see if we can't get somebody.
Maybe the PA announcer will give us a hint here. There's a strike thrown to Kyle Murphy, who is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And just having a great day at the plate for the Panthers. He's got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Base hit should get that run across. Let's see what he comes up with. Pope trying to dial it in, almost hits him, and everybody will move up a base. That was so high and inside that Joe couldn't even get to that pitch. It hit the backstop. There was no way he was getting there. And that'll move everybody up. So now, whoever came in for Bayless standing at second, you got Courtney at third. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. So here comes the pitch. Pope comes set. Working out of the stretch. Big swing and a miss on a curveball. Count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Murphy. So here we go. It's going to be a big pitch coming up now for Pope. And a big swing for Murphy coming up here in just a moment. So here comes the pitch from Pope. Fastball. Got him. Looking and struck him out. That was a big strikeout for Pope to get Cluxton. And that'll end the inning.
So that's going to do it. So there was no runs on no hits, 2 runners left on base, and no Farmington errors. And they have 3 outs now to come up with a couple runs.
That's it. I mean, this is a big moment for Farmington. Steven, Now you got the part of the lineup you want to trying to get something going here. You've got 9, 1, and 2, Delgado, Hagstrom, Benally. So you got your guys coming up. Here it comes. 3-1, you trail. You got 3 outs to go here. You're facing the left-hander in Flynn Hoops, who actually had a really good inning when he came in. Had a little bit of some trouble, but was able to get out of it. So this is it, man. Everybody that's a fan right now sitting on the end of their seat because this is going to be a big 3 outs here.
Yep, it is. Like this, you know, and this is a rivalry game. This is exactly what you expect as you have, you know, like it's a 3-1. It's a 3-1 game right now, and the PV Panthers are leading, but it's coming right down to the wire. Two runs is not unachievable for. It's not too much of a hill to climb for the Panthers, but now you've got, that's Bayless. Is that Bayless on the mound now? I think that's
number
Bayless.
2.
Is he
it is Bayless.
Yeah, Bayless. So Bayless is now out on the mound for the Panthers to try to close this one out.
Well, good old Coach Corrali snuck one in on us.
Yeah,
So they're going to bring in Bayless now, the back-to-back left-handers to close it out for PV to try to get a big win and stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. And really, Farmington looking to just maintain their position here, but really, Farmington's in. Regardless of what happens in this game, they're in. The question is, and we really believe that PV is in, it's just going to be where are they in at, especially if they win this game, where that's going to be. I'm probably guessing around maybe 10 to 13, somewhere around in there, if PV wins this game.
Yep.
I think Farmington will finish, whether they win or lose, I think they'll finish around 9 to 10 themselves. Here comes Bayless coming in to shut the door on Delgado, but Delgado fights off a fastball on the outer half of the plate for a foul ball. 0-1 the count now. Gosh, and you heard Chris, we've talked about it a ton. I mean, there's more and more people that keep piling in here.
I know, it is.
It feels like the Connie Mack World Series.
There's a lot of people coming in for this. The opening ceremonies should be fun. Should be a good time. That's going to be hit to Cluxton. Cluxton's going to scoop it up, get it over to first base for the 4-3 out number 1. And that's going to bring up, sorry, I'm on the wrong page here. That's going to bring up number 7, Sebastian Delgado.
Well, we're to the top of the lineup now. It's Danny Hagstrom. That was Delgado.
That's what I meant to say. I was writing on the book, looking
Quite
at Delgado.
All right.
That's what I meant to say. Hagstrom, not Delgado.
Beautifully bunted to third. Here's the throw on the bobble, and it is wide left. And Hagstrom will take off to second base on the airmail throw, and actually that is Kyle Murphy at third, who has had some great defensive plays today.
Well, that one, he kind of lost the handle on it, and he had to get after it, and I think he just tried to rush that throw because he was trying to hurry up and get the ball up in his hand and get it over there. So that will put Hagstrom over on second base, and that brings up Colby Benally. Over 3 on the day. He's going to bunt.
Nobody covering first. Nobody's there. He's going to get a base hit.
So some defensive mishaps here for the Panthers as Farmington turns to the small ball game, and it's working. It's working out for them as now they have the tying run over on first with 1 out, and that'll bring up Darnell Joe for the Scorpions. He's over 3 on the day. But there goes Coach Crowley, going to go have a conversation out at the mound.
Honestly, I don't think this is a conversation for J.W. Bayless. I think this is a timeout for his infield. He's probably out there having a conversation saying, how do you give an easy base hit out? That's a given out, and nobody's covering first base. I guarantee you. Look, he's not even looking at J.W. Bayless. So this timeout has nothing to do with the pitcher and everything to do with the defense.
Well, and as a coach, I think that's a good move. You go out there and this might be the wrong way to say it, but you rip a little tail and you freaking tell those kids, hey, we got to get out of this game. You we can't make these mental mistakes at this point in the game. I mean, you're in the top of the 7th, you got a 2-run lead, and you just make 2 mental mistakes in a row. And that's the kind of stuff that'll kill you in an important game like this, especially if you're PV. You really want to come out with this win here to try to give yourself a chance. But you know, that hopefully that's all it takes. You go out there and you just kind of let them have it a little bit, get their heads straight, and here we go. As Bayless is back on the mound, Darnell Joe, and he's going to step back.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, you know, but hey, if you're Farmington, the one thing we haven't talked about into its full depth, they've come back 3 times this year.
Yeah.
To walk it off.
We saw one of them.
So, you know, we've seen 2 of them.
Oh yeah, we have seen 2 of them. You're right.
So it's a 1-0 count to Darnell Joe, the catcher for the Farmington Scorpions. And Scorpions in business right now with 1 out, and that's ball 2 throwing down low and outside to the left-handed hitter in Darnell Joe at the plate. And he's got Benally over at first, Hagstrom at second. We know a base hit is scoring Hagstrom from second, no doubt. That young man can fly. Just give him an opportunity. And that's ball 3. 3 straight balls thrown by J.W. Bayless.
Man, he is bringing the heat, but it's just not hitting the zone. It's coming in there quick. Darnell Joe doing a good job of not biting on any of those, as he has a 3-0 count now, 1 out, runners on first and second. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Farmington needing those 2 runs that are out on the base path now to tie it up, just to take it into the bottom of the 7th at this point. Comes the pitch from Bayless. That one was in there for strike 1.
Well, he knows he's not swinging. Go ahead and pepper one right down the heart of the plate. And, you know, all these high school coaches, I think we've seen it one time in the last 3 years where they gave a hitter a green light on a 3-0 pitch.
Oh, yeah.
So you know he's holding off. But here goes Joe. Now he's going to dig in. Big pitch by Bayless. Try to throw it by him, but Joe late on the fastball, fouls it off, stays alive. It's full count now. And this is a big out for J.W. Bayless. If he can find a way to get Joe out, and it's a big at-bat for Joe if he can find a way to get somehow to get on base with a walk or a base hit.
Both these kids in a big spot right here. But like I said, Bayless is always calm out there on the mound. Let's see if he finds that out pitch. Here it comes. That's going to be hit to Cluxton. He's going to get the second. He's safe. So that is going to be the fielder's choice, and that will be the 4-6 out number 2. And that will put Hagstrom over on third and Darnell Joe on first, and it'll bring up the designated hitter, Eli Edmonston. At the plate, he is 0 for 3 on the day.
Well, that should have been a double play.
Yes.
Unfortunately for PV, their shortstop bobbled the ball on the hand transition from the glove to the ball, or that would have been a double play easily. And that's a big swing by Eli. It's so down low and inside, it hit the dirt. He went golfing, and you could see him put his head up to the sky like, what was I doing?
Yeah. Well, he's the one on the highlight I put out for Farmington. I put his walk-off where he hit it out into right field, and they won that game against Durango. So Eli Edmondson, familiar with this kind of situation for sure.
That's a great point to talk about that you brought it up on that video, because if you need a big-time hitter in this spot to get a base hit and score a run, man, Eli is your guy.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, go to Facebook or Instagram, and there's a video out there, and it has a couple, like 4 highlights for the Scorpions. There was one for PV. That's a big shot out into center field. Is it going to get over Courtney?
He's not.
It does. It goes all the way to the wall. That's going to score the tying run. They're going to send him. So, like I said, Eli Edmonston, familiar with that kind of situation, had 2 RBI stand-up double to tie the game.
The Heartbreak Kids.
Wow.
The Heartbreak Kids come back and tie it up in the top of the 7th inning with a base knock by Eli Edmonston. Man, he makes us look smart, because we just called it. If you want somebody at the plate, that's who you want. And if I'll tell you what, if Mason Courtney can't get there, you know you smoked that ball.
Yeah, you do.
Tied it up, Steven. What a big-time momentum switch for this game. And now it's going to be Declan Madison. Oh, he's only 3 for 3 in this game. He's got an opportunity to give him the winning run, or at least the lead run in this game. And he'll look at ball 1.
So, folks, we have a ball game. It is all tied up at 3, thanks to Eli Edmiston, who just knocked one out into center field to tie this one up. 2 RBI double. That one's going to be high. Ball 2.
I would even further go to say he crushed that, because again, if it got over Mason Courtney's head, you know you crushed it.
You know, and Courtney made a good effort, but that thing was just smoked out there towards center field, and he just couldn't get back. So here comes the pitch from Bayless. And there for strike 1. 2-1 the count now. 2 outs, runner on second. Tie ball game, top of the 7th inning. And the fans out here, the crowd is getting a show as it is Not Whole Friday, and it is opening ceremonies evening as well. So a lot of fans in the stands. That's going to be ball 3, as that one is way high and outside. 3-1 the count now to Declan Madison, as you said, Albert, who is 3 for 3 on the day.
Let's see if Bayless goes right at him here. You can't afford to put him at first, but you know what? It's not a bad thing if he does, because now you have the force out, you know. And let's see where Bayless does here, because I guarantee he's going right at him. But Madison might have something else to say about that for sure. Fouls it off. So it takes the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. And I'll tell you, what a spot here to watch between Bayless and Madison. This is a big moment, Steven. He can draw a walk, find a way to get over to first. Good. If he gets a base hit, even better. Let's see if Edmondson can score from second. Let's see if he's got the speed to score from second. Here comes a pitch from Bayless. Oh, fighting it off. That's a huge battle.
Yeah.
What a swing to save yourself, to keep you going in this at-bat.
I mean, and this is now the situation is you've got a runner in scoring position over there at second. If Madison can get another base hit, puts it out in the outfield, you might take the lead now. Man,
you're in business. That's what makes it.
Yeah.
You know, you said you've fallen in love with baseball. This is what makes you fall in love with baseball right
Exciting.
Here.
Exciting.
Here comes a pitch from Bayless. High leg kick. Off speed. Got him. What a huge spot that was for J.W. Bayless to come up with the off-speed pitch down in the dirt. Got Madison to swing. Struck him out. Ends the threat.
Well, now PV, it's all tied up. Now, well, I should say now Farmington, they have to come out and play some defense. No mental mistakes at this point.
Well, does Coach Corrali come out and small ball it just like Farmington did and Coach King, which got them back into this game?
Yeah, we don't see a whole lot of that.
Fixing to find out. Fixing to find out. It's going to be a great 7th inning. So 4, 5, and 6, Clugston, Aragon, and Page all coming up for the Piedra Vista Panthers, and we are tied up at 3. Bottom of 7. And this is exactly, I'm pretty sure, what everybody else expected.
It's been built to be, right? Like, I mean, here we're going into the top of the 7th, and PV's leading 3-1. What does Farmington do? They come out, put their 2 runs up on the board. They tie it up to stay alive. I mean, that's why it's like the same poker, a chip in a chair, you know. Like, it's kind of the same situation. As long as you got those 3 outs left at the top of the 7th, that you give yourself an opportunity. That's what Farmington does. They come out. Edmiston, like I said, he made me look like a genius when I talked about him doing it against Durango. He does it here. Gets a big shot out into center field, drives in 2 runs, ties it up. Now we've got Cody Clugston, Cade Aragon, and Trapper Page stepping into the box for the Panthers, and they only need 1 run to end this game, but I think the Scorpions are going to have something to say about that.
Sure enough, and Pope still on the mound for the Scorpions. He really came through in the bottom of the 6th inning, got himself into some trouble, got 2 runners on base, but was able to close out the inning. And he's going to start Clugston off with an off-speed pitch into the dirt for ball 1. So 1-0 the count. Jordan certainly wants to try his best to work ahead. Don't allow PV to get you deep into a count. There's a fastball swung on and missed for strike 1.
Wow, Cody Clugston, we've seen him come up with some big hits himself. So let's see what he can do here. He's going to foul that one off to bring it to a 1-2 count. So here we are in the bottom of the 7th inning, score tied, no outs. Cody Clugston at the plate with a 1-2 count. Jordan Pope still on the mound for the Scorpions. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, that one couldn't have been too far off, I don't think, but that's going to be ball 2.
Well, Joe liked it. He held his glove there for a minute, and obviously that's never changed an umpire's mind, but that tells you it was right there in the zone. And here's a big pitch. Swung on and fouled off is Clugston. And, if you notice how far back the first and the third baseman are playing, I'm a little surprised that PV isn't trying to small ball it here either. Clugston, if he could come up with a bunt, those players are way back.
Oh, and big strikeout for Pope as he gets Clugston swinging for strike 3, out number 1. Number 10, Cade Aragon now stepping up to the plate for the Panthers. And it looks like the Panthers sent somebody out to the bullpen. I didn't even see who that was, but they came running back in. So we'll see if Bayless is still out there, if they bring somebody new in here, if they have to keep going in this game. But Cade Aragon with 1 out now steps into the box, batter's box, and that is going to be ball 1 as it comes in a little bit high. And the crowd getting bigger as we're getting closer to the not the not hole ceremony. That one's in there for strike 1, the opening ceremonies.
Yeah. Well, and it makes this game so amazing to end the season with this. I mean, it is a packed stadium right now. That was right off the hands of Aragon, and he fights that off. That was a tough pitch. Guarantee right there, he's saying, I'm not leaving this up to the umpire. I'm taking a hack, see if I can foul it off. Did just that. So here comes Pope with the 1-2 count. Fastball peppered on the corner and got him looking for out number 2.
Ooh, that thing came right down the pipe in there for strike 3, out number 2, and that'll bring up number 3, Trapper Page. He is 0 for 3 today. He's flown out on every at-bat. Well,
he's, again, we said, earlier that this kid or that kid is due. Yeah, Page is due. 0 for 3, like you said, high fastball swung on and fouled off. But, it almost feels like who's going to come up with that big moment here late in this game. And, you seen Coach King go to small ball, and it worked.
Yep.
Let's see if he reverts back to that. If they could get themselves out of this inning with no runs, obviously if PV scores, the game's over. But inside for strike 2.
That was a good-looking pitch.
Well, it's been a strike all game.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't take a swing at it, but he did not. So Trapper Page with an 0-2 count, 2 outs. Pitch from Pope. That one is ball 1. I know there's some people that were wanting that one. Came in a little bit high, I think.
Sure did. A little high and outside as well. So, but not a bad spot. See if you could get him to chase it with an 0-2 count. There's no doubt about that one. That one's way outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on for the Panthers. We're still tied up 3-3. And if Pope can find a way to get Page out, we're headed into extra innings. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and fouled off, so Page hanging in there tough. Extra innings to end the regular season.
I know,
that is. Let's rephrase that.
I mean, it could if Pope gets this out here, we will be going into extra innings. Here comes the pitch to Page. It's swung on and missed. Strike 3. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no runners left on, and no Farmington errors as we will be heading into the top of the 8th inning. And it will be 6, 7, and 8. That's Bugnell, Pope, and Griego.
Well, looks like we're going to have some changes defensively, so let's see who goes where. Swartz still headed out to left. You still have Murphy at third. I seen him come talk to the umpire, so I'm trying to figure out, do they put Flynn Hoops back in the DH or did they pull him? That's probably the question. And here is J.W. Bayless. He'll come back out on the mound. And Flynn Hoops, oh, no, he won't. So now Flynn Hoops comes back into pitch again. Or was he in there at all, or did I get him and J.W. Bayless mixed up?
Well, I think we thought Hoops was coming in, and I think it was Bayless. Isn't that what happened?
So there we go.
I think that's what happened. We thought it was going to be Flynn Hoops, but then it was Bayless.
I think you are right. And we'll see. Trapper Page will now go out into right field, so they'll take Zwesper out of right field, replace him with Trapper Page. And Flynn Hoops now the pitcher. So this is the defensive setup that PV as well as Farmington are going to go with it, tied up at 3, heading into the top of the 8th inning.
Wow. Top of the 8th inning. Last game of the season, the Knothole game, the Crosstown Rivalry game, opening ceremonies. You couldn't ask for a more exciting game to get to come and watch, especially, you know, all these young kids coming and gathering here for this thing, and they get to meet all the players after their opening ceremonies and everything. It's going to be a fun one tonight.
It's just a treat.
Yep.
The best way to put it, we just got treated to an amazing baseball game that's still going.
Yes. Yep.
So
a lot of people we know out here too. You keep looking around the crowd and seeing people.
Yeah. All over the place, boy. There's a lot of people from Aztec and Bloomfield, of course, PV and Farmington out here. And just a ton of people come out to enjoy this matchup. I mean, everybody knows this is a big game. Nobody else is playing. Aztec season is over. Bloomfield will move on into the playoffs, but they're off today. Kirtland's off. So, yeah, you got a lot of people not playing baseball or not playing ball in general that are out here right now.
Well, and not to mention, we will be doing Aztec softball next weekend. Their playoff stuff is there's going to be 3 games, I think, over in Aztec.
Well, I think it's the top 4, right, are hosting in softball.
Yes, and Aztec will be right now. They're sitting at number 4. Well, I guess we'll see after Sunday because it'll be Selection Sunday before that all gets determined. But more than likely, they're going to host 3 other teams in Aztec. So we will be there for all of that. That's ball 2. So be watching.
Gonna be some fun.
Yeah, be watching Desert Sports Live. Seeing what's going to be going on there, but we will probably be doing 3 softball games next weekend, and then we might be going down to state softball as well. So we'll see how that all pans out.
That's the hopes.
Yep. That one's in there for strike 1, so 2-1 the count now. 2, Wyatt Bugnell.
I'd like to see what Coach King does if Bugnell's able to get at first base. Do they bring in a pinch runner for him? Put him right back into first base, but get one of your young speedsters. That looked pretty far outside, to be honest with you, but they're going to call it a strike. Takes the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes on the first baseman, and Wyatt Bugnell, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. There's a pitch. Looked like that completely slipped out of his hand.
Yeah.
So full count now for Wyatt Bugnell, who's going to try to find a way to get himself on first base and give his team an opportunity. I'm really curious to see if they do get somebody ready to run. And I would almost guarantee you'll see somebody come in to run. There's a shot base hit out into left field, and boy, that kid was due, was he not?
Yep. There it is. As he gets on to first base with no outs And now Bugnell, yeah, they're going to bring in a courtesy runner, aren't they?
They sure are. So they'll replace Bugnell really quick with a new runner. And then they'll have to reinsert Bugnell because he's not pitching. And I cannot see that number from here, so we apologize, folks. But up to the plate is Jordan Pope, and this kid can crush. He is a strong, strong kid at the plate. Let's see what Flynn Hoops comes up with, as he's got a runner at first and no outs. Off-speed pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Cade, keeping it in front of him because you cannot afford to let that get by you and push that runner from first to second, allowing him to get a free base, if you will. Here comes a pitch from Hoops. Fastball right in there for strike one. If you want to take a hack, that was it. You might not see another pretty pitch like that anywhere near the zone, because that was right over the heart of the plate.
There for strike two. Once again, folks, Albert and I just were able to come and broadcast this game tonight because Panther Vision is doing all the production, running all the cameras, and so we just got a nice night to come and broadcast. So thank you to Panther Vision for doing all of the production tonight. That one's in there for ball two.
It's nice to just actually get to enjoy the game.
Yes. Yes, it is.
2-2 the count now. Here's a big spot for Pope. He needs to swing if it's close. He did, and that was an off-speed pitch that got him to strike out for out number one.
All right. That'll bring up number 23, Ceterius Griego, who started the game out on the mound, did a great job for the Scorpions. He's now moved, him and Jordan Pope switched places. He's moved out into left field now, but he'll be stepping up to the plate, as he is 1 for 2 on the day. Has an RBI, I believe.
He does.
Yep.
He was the one that got things started in the fourth inning. Drove in the first run of the game for Farmington, that is. 1-0 the count, 1 ball, no strikes. And I know that the runner at first base does not want to get thrown out, but he needs to take a better lead than what he's got. Because if this is a ground ball, you got to keep yourself out of a double play. You need to get off the base.
I don't know what's going on with Hoops. He's kind of having a hard time with some of his pitches. Like, he can't get a grip on the ball. There's a shot, and is it going to – no, it goes foul. Wow. If that thing hits fair,
that's trouble.
That's trouble, yes.
You got 1 out and a runner standing at third at a minimum.
So, fortunately for the Panthers, it was just a crazy-looking foul ball.
Yeah.
A scary-looking foul ball, that's what I should say, right?
Well, let's see what he does here. Does he throw him the same pitch? He's trying to stay outside. That's where he's been putting his pitches, is outside. So, with 1 strike, 2-1 is the count on Griego. Here comes the pitch from Hoops. Curveball down low for ball 3. So 3-1 the count on Griego. And, you know, we sound such like a broken record, but he's got to find somehow, some way to get over to first base. And he walks.
And he does. So now the runner's on first and second, 1 out. Sebastian Delgado. There's our good buddy Hales Bassing sending us a text. She has done a fantastic job with Panther Vision, and she's the one running the show on the production side over here with all of her students, and we appreciate her. She asked us to come and broadcast this. It's a special game, it really is, and we love doing it. So we are very thankful that she asked us to come do it.
Well, here's a big moment for Delgado, and you're absolutely right. Hey, and let's give a shout-out to our guy, Chris. He's been broadcasting for Panther Vision all season long when we couldn't make it, at least when they broadcasted their games anyways. And, man, you just got to love that dude. He's all about the kids just like Haley is, so you tip your hat to Chris as well for the job he's done this year. He's really helped us, too.
Yeah, He's our calm in the storm when things aren't going right technically.
He's such a mellow, calm voice, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
1-0 the count now on Sebastian Delgado, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Want to talk about somebody who's due? It's this young man here. Here comes the turnaround. It's a beautiful bunt. It's going to be a base hit, Steven.
Wow.
He put it perfectly. And the third baseman was supposed to cover that side of the bunt. He covered the bag instead, and hoops came flying off the mound, and neither one of them grabbed the ball. And it's a base hit for Sebastian Delgado. So now, how important is it for Hagstrom, who is 1 for 4 with the run scored, to get something out in the outfield and at least score that run from third?
I'll tell you what, that was a great bunt.
Beautiful bunt.
We see a lot of bad ones. That one was perfect.
And what did we mention? Was Coach King going to come out here and small ball it to bring his team back in? Sure did. That's a shot right at the pitcher, and it's going to score a run. He did the best job he could to stop that ball from ripping his kneecap off.
Yeah.
It hit the glove, but it popped out of his glove, and he couldn't find it. And that was enough time to score the runner from third, and now Farmington regains the lead 4-3 and pushes everybody up a base.
Yeah, that's an RBI single, correct?
It sure is.
I mean, that was just a well hit. So that was Wyatt that came across, the courtesy runner that came across, correct? And now we have Soterius Griego over at third. I'm trying to get my bearings. There's a lot of stuff that happened right there.
Well, it's Kobe Benally up to bat right now, and Benally is 1 for 3 on the day with the walk. And yes, so now you have Hagstrom at first, Delgado at second, Griego at third. And it's a 1-0 count with 1 out. And again, another chance to score some more runs. There's a shot out to center field. It will score a run from third. There's the catch, the tag. Here he comes from third base. He'll slide in safe, and now it's a 5-3 lead, Farmington. And that is situational baseball, what I've been talking about all season long.
Yep, and that, I don't want to talk a whole lot about it, but we saw a base running error the other night, and it was that exact thing where you had to tag up at third, and that was performed perfectly right there. You could see, I don't know if you could see it on camera, but Griego was ready to run, and as soon as that ball was caught, his coach said go. He went, and
he knew.
Yep.
You said it right there. Now we got one of our favorite guys, Darnell Joe, at the plate. He is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. He's got a ball, as it was off speed in the dirt. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where this is why I call these guys the heart attack kids. You just can't stop these guys in Farmington.
They like to make it exciting at the end of the game. I mean, that's what I've just come to understand. They like to wait till the last second, make it exciting for all the fans.
They remind me of my Notre Dame Irish in football. Those guys can't play a first quarter, sometimes the first half, but the second half is all Irish. I feel like that's the same way with Farmington. That's when you said it, they really come alive late in the innings in almost every game we've seen. So here we go. It's a 3-0 count right now on Joe. You draw the walk, it'll be bases loaded again with 2 outs. There's a shot out into right field. He's going to have to turn and run. Gets right underneath it. F9 for out number 3, but not after. Farmington takes a big-time 2-run lead over the home team in Farmington.
Yeah, so
the home team in Piedra Vista.
Two runs on 3 hits, 2 runners left on base, and no Piedra Vista errors. But Farmington takes the lead. It is now 5-3, and we're going into the bottom of the 8th. And now it's PV that has 3 outs, and they need 2 runs.
That is exactly right with them. So, I thought we'd probably see Corrali kind of get his guys together and have a conversation, but, they know what they got to do. And it's Jordan Pope. Stephen, let's see if Pope can come in and come away with a big win for his Scorpion team. And I want to give ourselves some credit, Stephen. When we seen Farmington play in the PV tournament right off the bat, what did we say? this team was going to make a run in district and into the state playoffs in Farmington and PV.
Yeah.
And both of them have done just that.
Yeah, I mean,
doing just that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough. This right now for PV, you have. Let me see. You have 7, 8, and 9 coming up. Flynn Hoops, Elias Barton, and Tyler Swartz. But it's a mental. Right now, you have to battle mentally because you were up by 2 runs, and then it was tied. Now you're down by 2 runs. I mean, you got to get your head in the game. You got to keep your head in the game. You got 3 outs. You have an opportunity, just like Farmington did, to come out and put some runs up on the board. But they're going to have to get it done here as Flynn Hoops. I mean, there is a real sense of urgency to get on base.
You don't think PV's feeling it right now in that dugout? I think that's what you're getting at, and they absolutely are. But they cannot panic, and they got to come out here and swing. That's what they got to do. They need to start swinging at strikes, not watching them go by. They need to start making something happen because they can't afford to watch all those strikes go by.
Ooh.
And now all of a sudden this umpire's strike zone got really tight all of a sudden.
Sure did. I thought that was –
holy smokes.
I thought that was money, but apparently not.
Swung on and fouled off, so count goes to 2 ball, 1 strike. On Flynn Hoops, who's now in relief for the Panthers on the mound. Here at the plate trying to get himself to first base any way he possibly can. So he'll step in with a 2 ball, 1 strike count. No outs. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 5-3 lead Scorpions. And that's an outside pitch, ball 3. So again, Jordan, you know, he was 3 up, 3 down the inning before, the previous inning. He struggled in the 6th inning, so let's see him settle in here. He's right where he wants to be. And he could not afford to walk the leadoff hitter, and that's exactly what just happened.
Did he get walked, or did that hit his foot or something?
Well, it was ball 3, so either way it was in the dirt. I'm going to call it a walk.
The only reason I say it kind of looked like he kind of skipped, like it hit his foot or something like that. But it doesn't look like he's limping, so that'll bring up number 13, Elias Barton, who is 2 for 3 on the day with a run scored. I mean, he's had a good day at the plate, and I mean, wouldn't that be something to see PV come back and put a couple runs on? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all is what I'm saying.
Well, here's Farmington. They played small ball to get the lead, to tie it up, and now small ball to get the lead. Does PV play suit as Farmington did? Well, right now they're taking hacks.
Yeah, you're right.
They're taking hacks right now. And that's strike 1 to Elias Barton, who's had a big day at the plate for the Scorpions. He is 2 for 3 with the run scored.
And who is number 1 over there on first base that they brought in? Do we have a name on him?
I do. Oh, they don't have Flynn Hoops out there running. I didn't see the number who it was. And there's Jordan Pope again up high in the zone.
It is. I'll tell you here in just a second. I think I know who it is. Or it's Tony Reynolds.
Okay,
is who's
Reynolds
over there on first now for PV.
Got him back door. Throw down is safe.
Ooh, man, that was close. That was close.
So that's strike 2, 1 and 2, but a beautiful throw by Joe, and Reynolds able to slide in. Hey, he's not shy over there. He's getting just as big as lead as he had a minute ago. He's got a ton of speed. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Bobbled it. Got him didn't get any out.
Just called him safe, huh?
And he looked up. I mean, again, instead of fielding the ball out front, he fielded it in between his legs, looked up before he had the ball, and it popped right out of his glove.
So, you go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that. Those are the routine outs you cannot afford to cough up.
You said it, out-on-out plays, and now instead of 2 outs, no runners on, because you could add a double play, or even 1 out and a runner on first. Now you have no outs, runners on first and second. Tying run is now at first base, and you have Tyler Swartz coming up to the plate.
Yeah, it's like neither one of these teams want to do what you got to do to come away with the win, because just these simple mistakes through the entire game is wild.
This is where you have to be mentally, focused. This is the point of the game. Like you got to be able to be prepared for these situations. And wow, that one almost got away. Good job by Joe. That'll be ball one. So 1-1 the count now. Runners on first and second, no outs. Bottom of the 8th inning here at in the Knothole game, last game of the season between the crosstown rivals. Packed stadium, getting ready to have opening ceremonies. The fans are getting a show here tonight. Nobody was there. Pope.
Well, and it's one of those things. Being Pope, he did his job. He threw a ground ball to throw a double play. So what do you do after that? You have to find a way to keep within yourself and calm yourself down, because you did your job against a really, really tough offensive hitting team in PV, and it was just unfortunate on that play.
Well, and if you're Pope, now it's a mental game on him, because he was coming into this looking really good, and now he's got no outs and runners on first and second. So he's got to come up with some pitches here, and like you said, he did his job, but the defense did not get their job done behind him, and so that puts him in a tough spot. But that's going to be fouled off. That's going to keep the count at 1-2, as the Panthers now in need of a couple of runs.
Well, this is a big pitch for Jordan. If you're a Farmington fan, Jordan absolutely needs to find a way to get Swartz out here. This is a big, big pitch for Jordan Pope going up against Swartz, because you cannot afford to allow another runner on base with no outs. You just can't.
Yeah, and a base hit probably scores a run here.
Sure enough, absolutely it does.
So Pope needing a strike right here. First base is occupied.
Yep.
Did he call it a ball, or did it?
He swung.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know.
Swing.
Okay, so that's going to be strike 3, out number 1. Now we're back to the top of the lineup. Mason Courtney here coming up for the Panthers. And you still have the double play on the plate to end the game. So Courtney is going to have to find a way not to hit into a double play.
Well, most importantly for Farmington, you have the force out in play. What
Yes.
they cannot afford to have, obviously, is a base hit. That's the obvious. So let's get that out of the way. What they cannot afford to have is have these two runners move up a base each on a pass ball or something like that.
Yes.
So very important right now, Joe, make sure that he has everything in front of him if Pope throws it in the dirt, and it's an 0-1 pitch coming to Courtney. See right there with Joe, is in the dirt, and he's able to keep it in front of him to move the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. But, again, Pope just he's throwing a lot of our score sheet here, but Pope, since he's come into the game, he's thrown at least a minimum to each hitter in 4 pitches.
Yeah.
Every hitter, a minimum. See if he can find a way down low again for ball 2.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. It's becoming a mental battle now between both teams. You're late in this game, you're in extra innings, and there's a lot to think about. Like you just said, you named all the stuff they got to think about, and that can be difficult to do at this point in the game. So here comes the pitch from Pope. Oh, nice shot. That's going to score a run. Yep, he's going to send. No, yep, he's going to send.
Oh,
no. That was a terrible mistake. As if he's sending him, that's going to win the game. Oh, he held him up. He should have sent him. They threw it to third. And that's going to be an E8 to tie up the game with 1 out and now a runner on third. Holy cow.
That is a tough break for Hagstrom out in center field. Base hit, that'll score 1 on the RBI, and then on the miss, that'll push the other run in.
And they're lucky that Corrali stopped him at third, because they threw it to third base. He could have sent him home, and that would have won the game right there.
Well,
I understand why he did. You're thinking that ball's going home, and I understand why he didn't send him. But if he sends him, this game's over.
Well, and then you look back. Again, we're not going to beat it up. I won't even go into it any further. But the error.
Yes.
The error was big. That should have been a double play, and Farmington's out of this game with a 5-3 win. Sometimes that just happens in baseball. It's just the way things go sometimes. I mean, and that's why baseball, along with the game of golf, will drive you absolutely mad, because stuff like that will happen.
Oh, goodness. And then J.W. Bayless is coming up to the plate, and this kid does a great job of getting base hits.
All he needs is a pop fly out to right field. That's all he needs.
Yep.
He just needs to muscle something up into the outfield.
He just needs to get it into the outfield.
That's
either way.
And it'll be a tag up and a score from third pretty easily. Yeah, and I sure hope Hagstrom gets his head up. He's played such a phenomenal season, and just had a little mishap himself out in center field too. That error really cost 2 runs, but hey, keep your head up, kid. That's just baseball.
They're moving in for that bunt.
Well, no, what they're doing is if he hits a ground ball, they want to cut off the running run to third.
Gotcha.
So if it's a ground ball by Bayless, they'll look the runner off at third and then throw it to first for the out, or if he takes off, they're close enough where they can throw him out pretty easily. But again, Bayless just has to get something to the outfield, and PV's walking it off.
Bayless, just like I said, so calm under pressure. He's just
I mean, I would walk Bayless if I was Farmington to get the force out. Get the force out and don't allow him to hit. Oh, they are. Look at that. They're going to walk him. Well, you have to get the force out. Double play gets you out of here. But he's had a great day at the plate, so that's a two.
I would have just walked him for that reason.
That's a 2-piece. He's hit great, and you need the force out now. So to bring up Kyle Murphy, and Murphy with a moonshot out to left field off the middle of the fence with 2 RBIs, now steps up to the plate, and the job is not changed whatsoever. You got to get something out to the outfield to score him at third.
Oh, they're lucky that Bayless didn't take off to second, because that would have taken away the force.
It sure would have. And Bayless, unfortunately for Bayless, just wasn't paying attention there. And I guarantee you he'll hear it from his dad later.
Yeah.
Man, you should have been standing at second. Man, you got to figure out the down angle, dude. And he can fly too. Bayless is not slow. Big curveball up high for ball 2.
Jordan struggling right at the moment. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're in the mental part of the game now. And like we just saw it happen, an error, mental mistake. And the game is tied up again, with 1 out. And Murphy, it doesn't get any easier for Pope, as Murphy now at the plate for the Panthers. And I'll say it again, he's a dangerous hitter. So Pope.
Well, and he could be the perfect hitter now if he gets something to the outfield. Man, that was close for him to watch that go by.
Yeah, that's a dangerous place to let it go by, because that was that outside corner. But that's going to make it a 3-1 count. Runners on first and third, 1 out. See if Murphy takes a hack at this one. I wouldn't think he would, but that's going to load the bases, as that is ball 4, and Murphy will head down. So it's any base now, but now you got Cody Clugston coming up to the plate. So it's like any batter for PV could be the hero right now, right?
That's right. Well, again, it's a big moment, and you got they're going to bring out Murphy, and they're going to bring somebody else in.
It's going to be number 9. Is that Yeager?
I'm not really sure why you're bringing in a runner from first base, because if you score the run from third, the game's over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so number 9, it's Chris Yeager.
Maybe it's because he's a senior and they needed to get him in the game. I'm not too sure. Well, here we go. It's a big moment for Pope. He's got to dial in, and he's got to find a way to throw another ground ball. Steven, he did it twice, and it feels like he got the air knocked out of him here. See how battles back, and there's a big curveball in there for strike 1. 1-1 the count. You can hear the crowd giving the umpire the business. They don't feel like that was a strike, but it looked pretty close to me. Here comes a pitch, 1-1. Down in the dirt, and there's Joe again saving the day. keeping that ball in front of him. I cannot tell you how important that is to have a catcher like Joe keeping that ball in front of him.
Yeah, and, if you don't think they're going to put the pressure on Jordan, you're mistaken, because Cody's going to let him go into that 3-ball, 3-1 count if he can. Oh, and it's a high.
That's not what you wanted at all. Oh, and he missed it.
Yeah, he's frustrated, but dang, that is fortunate for Cluxton.
I mean, every emotion running through Pope right now in this inning, and how could it not?
Well, let's be honest. Those are not easy catches. That seems like it'd be an easy catch, but that ball, like, it's up straight up in the air, and you think you're under it, and then we see it all the time. That's not an easy catch to make. So, but yeah, I'm sure he's extremely frustrated because now Cody gets another chance.
Oh man, you just
gotta
cannot watch that kind of pitch go by.
No.
You just can't.
Yeah.
In this type of game that you're in, you have to take a swing.
Yes, I agree. Like that was too close to not swing at it. So, and here we go, Cade Aragon. Now it's his turn to have a chance to win this game for his team. But like you said, Pope can't have a crazy pitch, can't have a wild pitch, can't get past the catcher. This one's over.
That's right. No, he's going to call timeout. They're going to call everybody in because I think they might want to try to throw somebody out on the bases. It may just be something like that. Just saying, hey, if he gets that as far off as he keeps getting, it's something to think about. So we'll see what they're talking about here. But 2 outs, and again, situational baseball coming into play here yet again. Knowing the assignment is what these kids call it, right? Knowing the assignment. You got to know where you're at in this game. So here we go. 2 outs, tied up, bases loaded for PV. Can they walk it off, or can Jordan Pope shut this down? He comes set. Here comes a pitch. Up high.
High for ball 1.
Well,
yeah.
And if you're Cade, you don't mind how you get to first. Just find a way to get to first.
Yes, exactly. You're right. That's what I'm saying. They're going to put the pressure on Pope to throw strikes. You're not just going to swing at anything. And there it is, ball 2, so 2-0 the count. That's what I was saying with that is they'll let him go to 3 balls and then say, okay, you better get it. You better find the zone because I'm not swinging, and we'll take it. We'll take the win.
It's just been such a fantastic baseball game today, and all these kids are leaving it out here on the field. That's strike 1. And if you're Pope, you just right here, again, you got to trust your defense. Don't try to overpower the pitch. Just throw strikes and allow your defense to help you out. You got 2 outs.
Battle's back.
That was a high inside fastball. Cade just swung at ball 3.
Yep.
2-2 now, so it's 2s across the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases are loaded for the Panthers. See if Pope can get himself out of this mess. 2 strikes in the dirt. That's, it looked tough to lay off of Steven, but that was completely in the dirt.
Yes. Yeah.
But I guarantee you everybody in here held their breath there for a second.
Well, here, if you're Cade, if it's close, you better be swinging.
And you're going to see everybody taking off now right here. Yeah. You'll see everybody run.
There it is.
Oh, walk off. Cade Aragon with a base hit and the walk-off to win the not-hole game and give PV a badly needed win here against Piedra Vista and in this district.
Wow, what a game as the Piedra Vista Panthers leading all the way to the top of the 7th by 2 runs. And Farmington ties it up, takes the lead, and then PV comes right back and wins the ball game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Wow, couldn't get any more exciting than that on the not-hole game, the last game of the season. Got all the fans here, so congratulations to the PV Panthers. You know what, congratulations to the Farmington Scorpions. I mean, they both had a great game. They've had great seasons. Now let's see what happens for state.
Well, they're both going to state, so that's the deal. But if you're Farmington, you're crushed right now. You are absolutely heartbroken. 2 ginormous errors. And without those, who knows what's going to happen, but you're right. Such a great game between these two teams that know each other so well. I hope all these young men keep their heads up regardless of what happened out there on the field, because guess what? They're both going to the playoffs.
Yep.
They're going to the playoffs. So anybody who made errors or whatever the situation was for Farmington, well, they're going to have to find a way to get past that, and same with PV.
That's right. Now it's a whole new ball game now. You're going into state. Clean all that stuff up, move on, and go play state. Right?
Well, how can you not have a co-player of the game? And, of course, we're going to give our co-player of the game to Cade Aragon for the base-winning hit, and also Kyle Murphy with a 2 RBI double that really got PV started and really got that offense churning. So there you go, Desert Sports Live player of the game, Cade Aragon, and, of course, Kyle Murphy. Any final thoughts?
I was just going to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in, watching, and listening. We will be in Aztec for the state softball stuff next Friday and Saturday. So if you want to watch some softball, that's where we'll be next. So we appreciate all of you.
Well, and, hey, thank you, Panther Vision. Pardon me. Thank you, Panther Vision, with everything that you guys did out here. And, you know, we've appreciated working with Panther Vision all season long.
100%.
We couldn't be prouder of you guys, and so thanks for having us. We hope everybody a safe trip home. God bless. And Steven and I are out, but they're going to still stream here for the little guys.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to start a new stream for the next thing, right? Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so this one's going to go off, and then you guys can go to Desert Sports Live and get on the next one. We appreciate you. Thank you.